In the space of 3 weeks, I actually came in contact with people who had gotten themselves, I think, to the final stage of depression, and they just wanted to die. One ran into my car and wanted me to hit her so she will die. Another had rusted her razor and she was just going to use it to cut herself and bleed in her room until she dies. And I was wondering, what is it about depression, suicide, mental health going on as in the rate is so high? And I thought we should bring it to Against All Odds. And today on Against All Odds, I have a beautiful, intelligent, focused young girl who will journey with us on Against All Odds and tell us her story of how she got into depression and how she's been able to overcome it. Thank God, hers is a positive one. Don't go away as we will spend time listening to Aina's story on Against All Odds. My name is Toshima Pius Ikeravi.
This is Against All Odds.
Figures released by the World Health Organization, WHO, shows that Nigeria has about 7,079,815 sufferers of depression, which is 3.9% of the population. Also, in Nigeria, there are approximately 4,894,557 Nigerians, and about 2.7% of the populations are suffering from anxiety disorders. Depression can lead to suicide, which is the second leading cause of death in 15 to 29-year-old globally. It is a common illness worldwide, with an estimated 3.8% of the populations affected, including 5.0% among adults and 5.7% among adults older than 60 years. Approximately 280 million people in the world have depression.
This is Against All Odds.
I know it's good to have you on Against All Odds.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for letting us into your privacy.
You're welcome. It's my
I
pleasure.
know this journey is going to change a lot of lives. You know, people who just feel they're alone in this. Listening to your story will let them know that they're not alone. So now we just want to know, how did the journey into depression start?
I started having psychosis, which is a medical term for misbehavior. My dad took me to a recovery center in Gwarimpa, where I was diagnosed with self-inflicted depression.
Alabi Aina Tokozil was born on the 8th of April 1987 in Harare, Zimbabwe, to the family of late Ambassador George Umokabo Alabi and Felicia Alabi from Edo State. Aina attended Redeemer Nursery and Primary School Karo, Abuja, and Federal Government Girls College, Akure. She gained admission into the University of Abuja to study law, but could not finish her studies due to her association with bad gangs on campus. She became very ambitious and the outside world was too large for her to handle. She encountered failure and couldn't handle it. This sent her into depression, and to hide her shame and frustration, she dived into substance abuse. Aina shares her experience with Against All Odds.
It actually comes when you encounter failure, like you're set on a path and you're doing well, then all of a sudden everything just comes crashing down on you. For some people, they pick up themselves fast, while others they are not able to. Like my case, I entered University of Abuja at 18, and I was reading law. But somewhere along the line, I think my priorities changed. I picked up smoking, marijuana, drinking alcohol, and cigarettes. I also wanted to be a fashion model. I was always chubby, but I lost weight. So I think that whole skinny feeling, got into my head. I wanted to always project myself. You know, so I went into a competition, Face of Sleek, and I also moved with a fast crowd, rich kids, Only in my case, I couldn't juggle all those things together. So I went for Face of Sleek in 2009, and I qualified to top 15 semi-finals, but the grand finals, but I didn't get to top 3. So seeing that I was already smoking at that point in my 3rd year, I came back to school, and the school had this internet magazine called Laugh Out Loud, where they posted news of it kids, happening kids, And so my name was there, like our very own Aina went for Face of Sleek, they stated my progress, how far I performed, my performance, And I think shame actually is a contribution to depression. I felt shame. I felt I tried to prove myself and I couldn't prove myself. So I used to say off campus, not in the hostel. So I would not attend lectures. I would stay in my apartment off campus and smoke cigarettes all day long. I'll take codeine, I'll take marijuana, I started keeping to myself, and I was still thinking, how can I prove myself? Still thinking that there are other ways that I can prove myself, but there were no doors opening, And then when I was younger, people had high expectations of me. I used to read books, my younger ones. Today they are baristas and surgeons. They looked up to me, Anyway, that Christmas of 2009, I stayed back in school. I didn't come home for the holidays. And then when I finally came home, I think January, I was emaciated, I started being paranoid. Like I would pass by people who will be having their own conversations, and they would laugh. And within me, I'll say, these people are laughing at me, and I'll feel very self-aware,
Most often, women who suffer from depression attribute it to a variety of reasons: emotionally, hormonal, or environmental, traumatic experience, like chronic feelings of inadequacy, low self-esteem, or unsatisfactory relationships.
So my dad, I started having psychosis, which is a medical term for misbehavior. My dad took me to a recovery center in Gwarimpa, where I was diagnosed with self-inflicted depression, you know. So I stayed there, school resumed, and I missed semesters. A semester, and then I was asked to do a deferment, So when I got back to school, people had moved on. My mates were in the process of graduating, I was with my juniors, I shaved my hair, to prove a point, I was not remorseful at that point, you know. I went to psychiatric hospital for 7 more times over the past 13 years. And I think the second to the last time, I started having thoughts of suicide. Yes, I would lie down on my bed and I'll hear voices telling me, commit suicide now. What do you have to live for? Look at how fat you are. And you don't even have the energy to start jogging again, you know. Because I do exercise. I love exercising. I used to be very slim. I lost weight from 98 kg to 55 kg. Then my worst moments with depression, I was weighing 125 kg. That was this year, January. Yes. So I would actually sit down, hear the voices telling me to commit suicide.
People who have gone through advanced life events, unemployment, bereavement, traumatic events, shame, disappointment, and other degree of hurt and pain are more likely to suffer depression. Depression can cause the affected person to suffer greatly and function poorly at work and school and the family and the society at large. It can be deadly. It takes the grace of God for one to stay alive to tell the story.
So, how were you able to overcome those voices that kept piercing, commit suicide? What do you have to live for? How were you able to, overcome it? Was it self help or was it family help? How did
I
you
think
do
it's
that?
your mindset, actually. You have to change your mindset. You have to deliberately strive to be happy. I started reading again. I bought books, and then my Bible. I started attending church, paying more attention. I started being present, you know. Then I saw a therapist, you know, who is not part of the hospital regimen, you know, just like a freelance therapist, and she gave me affirmations because, you know, all my mates are, they would have like 3 children by now, you know, because I'm 35, you know, and she told me things to say, like how will you put your positive thoughts when it comes to your um your partner. And she told me to say, I have met my husband, you know, I am beautiful, you know, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, sometimes I'll stand in front of the mirror just checking my love handles, and my mom would tell me, Favor. She calls me Favor, but I go by Aina in public. So she tells me, Favor, be thankful. Tell God you are fearfully and wonderfully made, you know. Then I think exercise played a huge part, you know, in changing my frame of mind. That's what I've done that has helped me beat depression. Although it's still there, that feeling is still there, because once you are used to that feeling, it never goes away. It's like somebody takes a bazooka and shoots you in your chest, and that hole inside, you're just feeling it. But every time you feel that presence, you have to think of all your achievements and tell yourself you are never going back there. Like this year and early this year and last year, I heard of people who committed suicide on the internet. And I was not happy because I know what depression is, and I know that suicide is linked to it. And I wasn't happy, and I wished there was something I could do to at least, even if it was in the thick of time, change that person's fate, you know, because my late father always says that people who commit suicide cannot get into heaven, that their souls will remain hovering round and round and round. So it's a sad experience. It's a very sad way to end your existence, and its existence is beautiful. You know, God knew why he gave us a chance to be in this form and on earth.
Aina was left alone to wallow in darkness and self-rejection. Her friends abandoned her. The sunlight exposed her failures, and so she dejected the light and preferred the dark room, which became her companion. Together with darkness, she printed negatives. She kept hearing voices that caused her to inflict pain on herself, which of course is a result of the scars all over her body.
It was terrible because, you know, we're living in a Hausa community here in Karo. You know, there are people who rent houses, who have houses here, and there are people who actually are kind of indigenes, you know. So they'll be like, Yarigida madam, that she they smoke. They'll come when I go to the back to smoke and I'm coming home. Someone would have already told my mom, alerted my mom that, I've smoked. So my mom is waiting outside to lambast me, to shout at me, to do, ooh, you're smoking, you know. Yeah, so it wasn't easy because I think now they're actually people here actually if they were religious beings, highly religious beings, they'll always be like they'll say that God has performed a miracle because things have changed with me, you know. So there's a more positive response from them. They greet me. Before I lost my reputation was in tatters.
Imagine a once brilliant and outstanding child, the future of the Alabis dynasty, the heartbeat of her late dad, and the shining hope of her mother. A mentor to her siblings became a shame, a disappointment, a side gossip to the neighborhood, soaked in marijuana and alcohol. Aina, beautiful and vivacious girl, became a psychiatrist patient. She had been in and out of the psychiatrist hospital 7 times.
In 2009, I was smoking, I
Yes.
was thinking,
Yeah.
and I was ashamed, you know, public shame and disgrace. So I lost weight. Last year he disowned me. He disowned me and said that I shouldn't come home, you know, because I actually went on the streets, you know. I stayed on at the roundabout in Caro for I think 2 weeks. Coming home, my mom will come home and come out and get me, you know, beat me, you know, because I'll be black, you know, covered in suits and all that. But during towards Christmas, I went out. I didn't come home again, you know. It took the grace of in timely intervention of a family friend who is a nurse at the Cairo General Hospital to come and get me, to take me to the hospital. You know, so my dad disowned me, but my mom was always supportive. You know, a mother now,
Yeah.
you know, she's the softer one.
This is Against All Odds.
You know, mothers, they will never stop being mothers. They're the best thing you can ever have in your life. It's a good thing that Aina's mom is here and would like to hear from her too. So stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
Her condition affected the mental state of her father. He was frustrated and exhausted and eventually disowned her when he couldn't cope with all the embarrassment she was bringing to him and his family. Her mom related to Against All Odds how the father will break down and cry.
Honestly, I really thank God because that time it was crying day and night. Even if I'm cooking, I won't be myself. After cooking, I won't be able to eat. The father will be there, will be telling me, Maronke, you have to eat. Stop thinking about I know. I said, no, I want to go and buy fruit. But it's not fruit, oh, it's favor that is in my mind to just go and see if I can see her to bring her home. And at the end of the day, if I reach roundabout, at times I will see her. I'll be calling her, favor your father, say you should come home. She will leave me, she will start running, she will run back. Then at times, if I go there, I will see her. She will immediately she sees me, she will run to me, mommy, I want to follow you home. Mommy, let's go home. We will come home. The father will tell me, because he has already disowned her. But the father said that he's tired of her. He has spent all he had on her, that he has no time again, that I should just leave her, let her be herself. But myself, I wasn't myself. I couldn't cope. So I will bring her home, I will change her, she will bath, take care, give her food. After eating, the following day again, she will disappear. Then it's the grace of God. God really helped me. So I thank God she has stopped smoking. She doesn't smoke. You can see her taking care of herself, reading. She reads now, and she's now in school. I thank God.
She narrated that she had been well for a year now, but feared that she had remained steady in the past for 3 years, but relapsed.
Do you think sometimes you feel like you want to smoke? Does it come at all? That feeling, does it come like at this point I think I need to. Does it come again?
Okay, like in the psychiatric hospital, they don't allow you watch certain channels like Sound City, MTV, because they say that it will trigger the feeling of wanting to be bad, like, you know, all this yo. Yeah, so when I came home, I made it a point to watch those channels. And when I see people, because when I see people smoking, I pass, because I'm like, if and then when somebody invites me somewhere like a hotel or like a bar, I go, you know, spend some time and come back, you know, because I'm like, if I keep running away, how do I finally come face to face with my reality and be like, oh, I can see this and I can conquer that feeling. So I'm at a point in my life where I don't even let smoking come into my mind, because I have people who I need to gain back their trusts and prove myself to. So no, I don't feel like smoking, you know, and there are triggers, you know, like you could be at home and somebody might annoy you and you just want to barge out and say, I want to go and smoke, Joe, you know. But I've taught myself patience and tolerance, and you know, the Bible says self-control, you know. So I take deep breaths and I just think of self-control. Is this how to react? You're messing up. So they've helped, you know. So I don't feel like smoking. And I pray I don't, because in 2016, I had an experience. I stopped smoking in 2016 for 3 years, and I relapsed. So this time around was my last smoke was last year, and I haven't smoked since then till now. So 3 years is more than 1 year. So I hope I prove myself for eternity. Like, I don't ever want to go back to smoking again. You know, it's just bad, like bad. Yes.
After wasting all the precious years, Aina has picked up her life again. It's a gradual but steady move. She has gone back to school. She has her hands gainfully involved with a lot of things like learning how to sew. She's gone back to exercising, what she loves to do best, and confesses exercise is a great therapy. She's gone back to reading and exploring her thoughts. It's certainly not going to be easy, but surely it will end in praise.
I did my matric last Saturday, you know, 2 Saturdays ago. Yes, I did my matric. Thank you. And I've been going to school. Yes, so I actually want to start business, because I actually like this buying and selling, the process. I like listening to my customers tell me, oh, I like this, and pricing it, and me trying to convince them, you know. I used to sell for my dad before when he had fabrics. He brought fabrics from overseas because he was a foreign service officer. So I used to sell when I was younger for him. Yeah, so basically, and then I go to the gym Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays with my trainer. You know, she really drills me, you know. And then I had a photo shoot, a lingerie photo shoot for plus size models and for plus size women. And the lady who owns the bra shop, she wants me to do more modeling for her. So I hope that brings in money.
Aina is open to help in every way. She loves to model. She's looking forward to modeling for plus size female divers and would love to live her dreams. She needs a lot of encouragement and stamina to finish strong. She's determined, resilient, and focused. She's bold and filled with a positive spirit that with God everything is possible. Above all, Aina believes in God. She reads and studies His words and owns all her miracles to God. She's very appreciative of her mom, siblings, and her new set of friends who believe in her. Aina is among the few who have conquered depression.
If right now you feel that you are overwhelmed, keep doing what you've been doing. You will come out. You'll see the sky, the silver lining in the sky. Every sky has a silver lining. You get your own silver lining. don't stop what the positive things you've been doing, and keep hoping, keep praying. Whether you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, keep praying and keep believing in God. God will save you. But one thing you must never resort to, don't take your life with your hands. Don't take matters into your hands, you know. And don't be ashamed of yourself, because nobody is like you. You're perfect. Yes.
This is Against All Odds.
You're going through a lot out there. You do not even know what to do, how to help yourself. Be rest assured that the decision lies with you. If Aina can go through all that, go into the streets, sleep under the bridge, and then today she will tell herself that I have taken a decision to be sane again. My dear, you will definitely snap out of whatever situation you have found yourself. The program is Against All Odds, and it brings hope and inspiration right to your doorstep. Your light has come. With Aina's story, your light has come. Amen. Snap out of depression. Don't get yourself engaged into mental health that will take you to the street. You do not deserve it. You deserve much more than that. Talk to yourself today and tell yourself that I can. I am beautiful, I am wonderfully made, and I can conquer all my fears. Let's do this again. Same time, same station. The program is Against All Odds on the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. And my name is Toshima Pius Ikirofi. Say no to depression. Say no to mental health disability. Take care. We love you.